and they're not for justice. They say, free, free Palestine from the river to the sea. So what does that mean? It means from the Mediterranean all the way to the Jordan River.
Well, that means that they want to occupy all your land, all the land.
It's all the land.
All of it.
All of it. So Israel tried peace by giving the Gaza Strip is now Jew-free, and that's an example of what they have in mind for the rest of the land. It isn't that Israel is, building homes here or building homes there. They consider all of it to be held in trust. It's called a waqf, and it is to be held in trust forever until they are able to reclaim all of it.
Good morning, Barbara. This is Janice Daniels. You've come to the right place if you want to talk about the disingenuousness of the media, that's for sure, because that's what we've been talking about this morning. But the truth remains that throughout the 20th century, Israel has come to the table to negotiate, and they've said yes to peace agreements. In many, many instances, Israel is giving concessions time after time after time, and every single time the Palestinians say no.
Thank you very much for sharing that. And what Del was saying about land, I think most of us know that New Jersey is a very small state, and the land mass of Israel is smaller than New Jersey. But it is in the news to the extent that people think that it must be as huge as Sudan or Libya or Egypt, and why there is so much attention on that when, as Del said, Christians are threatened throughout the Middle East, and especially in Syria. And the movement of ISIS doesn't have a much different reason for what they are doing with slaughtering with knives, and I think their knife slaughtering may have inspired the use of knives by our enemies in Israel. And what is the world doing about that? And I applaud Del and the station for organizing tours of the Holocaust Memorial Center, because the Holocaust is one example of what happened to the Jewish people when the world was silent. And we can't let that happen again, and it is happening now to Christians in the Middle East and North Africa, beginning with the declaration of the statehood of Israel. Suddenly the Jews who had lived for centuries, since perhaps the Inquisition or being expelled from the land of Israel, had lived in all the countries in North Africa and the Middle East. No one even remembers that there were Jews in Iraq, for instance. 99% of the land in the masses that I just mentioned have been ethnically cleansed. Jews who had lived there for centuries, and so they are determined to do the same with the land.
Barbara, this is Phil. Good morning.
Good morning.
Since we talked about how small Israel is, and now you're talking about the cleansing of Jews, they also are in the process of cleansing the Christians. Is Israel offering refuge to the Christians? Have they taken in any number?
They have. I don't have the numbers. I don't have the numbers, but Stand With Us, one of the ways that it educates is it has publications, little pamphlets and brochures, and they can all be read if you go to the Stand With Us website. And I'm reading from one about Israel's diversity, and people from over 70 countries have made Israel their home, the founding in 48. There have been airlifts of Ethiopian Jews. The Sudanese Muslims and Christians have fled to Israel and been taken in. So where they've been threatened in India, from all over, they have been taken in. And secretly, Muslims who have been injured in Syria, Christians who've been injured in Syria, have secretly sought help in Israel's hospitals. And they have treated people who have fled there for help.
Yes.
So while Israel is, like the United States, democratic, humanitarian, and founded on Judeo-Christian values, its hospitals are treating everyone equally. And when you think about the horror of what is happening to Christians, not just in the Middle East and North Africa, they are welcome in Israel. They are thriving. Name one country where Christians are now safe, except for the state of Israel.
Wow.
There is none, yeah.
That is.
I mean, think about just consider that. And when you think about Israel, it isn't just Jewish people. It's the only one Jewish homeland in the world. When you think about 26 where they're Muslim dominated.
Well, looking at the size of Israel on the map,
yes,
and then we see that that they are cleansing Christians and Jews. Yes. They accomplished cleansing Jews a long time ago, but
that's right.
But
now it's the Christians.
But right now, through the war process, there are many Syrians that are refugees, and they are piling into Europe, and none of the Arab countries have taken any of these people in.
It really is a mystery, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a mystery. It really is. We didn't notice that.
But it's not a mystery when you look at the paradigm as for what it really is.
Yes.
It's a worldwide caliphate.
Yes,
that's exactly
right. It is.
Yeah.
It is. And the religion gets left out of the equation when people are talking about it. They want to talk about politics. They don't want to talk about the source, which is the religion. And one of the pamphlets that our Stand With Us has is excerpts from the Hamas Charter. And I'm reading from one of the pages. There is no solution for the Palestinian question except through jihad. Initiatives, proposals, and international conferences are all a waste of time and a vain endeavor. So that's just one excerpt. That's all. Article 15, it's necessary to instill in the minds of the Muslim generations that the Palestinian problem is a religious problem and should be dealt with on the basis of religion. So, more can be read. One of the things about Hamas is that it doesn't keep secret what its intent is. It's easy to find out. You can probably Google the Hamas Charter or the Fatah Charter. Mm-hmm. All have the same intent.
Yeah. Barbara, your website is very nicely done, standwithus.com, and I see that you have offices in Paris and opening up new offices in Boston and Toronto. So you're making a big mark on the world stage, which is very good. How are you funded, might I ask?
It's all through donations.
And have our
grants and donations, because people understand the importance of education.
Have our very wealthy legislators of Jewish heritage donated some of their wealth, some of their massive wealth? Because that's one of the problems that I see in this country is we send people to Washington, D.C., and they become extremely wealthy. But then they don't use that wealth to support groups like yours or like ours. We could use some donations from some high places.
Right, perhaps. But Stand With Us, unlike some other organizations, stays out of the politics.
Yes.
They will sign petitions or urge people to call when there are bills before Congress helping to fund the needs of Israel. The interesting thing is that while Israel may benefit from donations of money for, say, aircraft, the money is spent in the United States. The money supports employment of Americans. The money is not sent over to Israel. The money is spent here. So there's a real misunderstanding of how money to help Israel is used.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Barbara, I'm gonna let you finish. We're gonna have to leave it at that because we have about 2 minutes left. I want you to give our audience your website again. We're gonna have to do this again. Absolutely. I'll be listening to you later on this morning on the other side of the dial. Just give our audience your website one more time, and we'll talk again soon.
Yes. The international website is www.standwithus.com. I know that on Google there's some old links. I've got to find the new one. Look for the menu that says resources, go to booklets and brochures, and all of them magically can open online. You can read them online, or you can order them.
All right. Thank you very much.
And
You're
good luck
welcome.
With your tour. I hope you have an overflow crowd going with you on November 6th.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Del.
All right.
And
Thank
Phil.
you. All right. Bye-bye. All right, Derek, here, we have a couple minutes. I don't have time, but I want to, before we give our exiting comments, give us another 30 seconds of our friend and colleague in the fight for liberty, Charles McCullough.
And just to think that 5 judges can take and change the definition of marriage like that is a sin and a shame. Yeah. And Pastor, I appreciate you so much for bringing up the facts and history about the disease and the curse that this homosexual lifestyle brings to this country.
Mel, how you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely fine, and that's what makes this country so great.
Yes,
right? And for the Democrats to just set God on the other side over there and go along with their heathenistic attitudes and things that they're trying to do, we better get it back right and start coming back to God. Absolutely. Because then we'll be the head, not the tail.
Head and not the tail. Thank you very much, Derek. We're going to have to leave it at that, folks. I want you to go to our website. This is a listener-supported effort here. This is our anniversary. Whatever you can do, your best support would help. Go to artofmichigan.com. Phil, what did you want to say before we leave?
Just want to say that we must get out there and vote this year and continue getting this Obama administration out.
I just want to quote Thomas Edison, opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work.
Abolitionist Round Table invites the Wham! Talk 1600 listeners to continue the roundtable discussions by mailing correspondence to Art of Michigan, Post Office Box 135, Garden City, Michigan, 48135.
Or follow Phil and Del at artofmichigan.com. You can also send emails to artofmichigan@hotmail.com. And most of all, continue to listen every Saturday and tell a friend.